Hi, this is the voice of Heidie Calero with another interesting economic capsule on Puerto Rico's economy. I've talked before in other economic capsules the role of investment, which is really at the heart of any economy in terms of its economic growth. Today we are going to talk about jobs, about production jobs. What are those production jobs? Well, if you look at this graph that I am depicting here, production jobs are in agriculture, in manufacturing, and construction. All the other jobs are services. So we have these two categories, production jobs and services jobs. And that includes from real estate to finance to government. Well, why production jobs are important? Because they have a lot of backward linkages and forward linkages in our economic lingo in terms of the economic activity. Whereas services, it's more difficult to really gauge that productivity. But in production, it's either agricultural production, it's construction, it's manufacturing. You know what is the value of that production. Well, in 1940, we had 522,000 jobs in Puerto Rico. Of those, 346,000 were in production jobs in agriculture, in manufacturing, and construction. Mostly a lot in agriculture. And only 166,000 were in service jobs. So 68% of total jobs were production jobs. Let's move forward to 2020, and out of 967,000 jobs that Puerto Rico has, 160,000, only 160,000 are in production jobs. That is almost 17% compared to that big number of 68% back in the 1940s. And 807,000 are in services. And that includes, as I said before, government, finance, transportation, real estate. It includes retail trade. All those are non-production jobs. So it is important to consider that these production jobs are the challenge that Puerto Rico must meet if it's going to really revamp this economy. Let's look at construction jobs. As you know, Puerto Rico underwent Hurricane Maria and Irma back in September of 2017. And then January of 2020, we had the tremors and the earthquakes. And then we've had COVID-19. But the reconstruction that is necessary for the infrastructure as well as for housing, it's important because of those two hurricanes. Well, so we need a lot of construction jobs. Back in 1971, just before the crash in this industry, we had 81,000 jobs in construction, 12% of total jobs. In 77, we had 40,000 jobs. And remember, we had in 75 the first recession, economic recession, first oil shock that Puerto Rico also felt the negative growth. And then construction jobs accounted for only 6% of total jobs. Let's move forward. Then we had another recession here in 82, 83, 84, the second oil shock. Again, lower a number of construction jobs. In 77, we had already gotten back to 77,000. We had not regained the levels of 71, and we accounted for 7% of total jobs. In 2007, just after Section 936 and just the onset of the modern depression that we've been feeling and experimenting since 2007, we were up to 98,000 jobs. So enormous recovery here in Puerto Rico, and it accounted for 8% of total jobs. And now, 2020, it's about 46,000 jobs, even half of what we had in 1971, and even less than we had in 2007. So it's only 5%. Why this is important? Because these production jobs play a key role in the reconstruction and of the Puerto Rico economy. Let's look at how many years to recover those construction jobs. From 1971 to 1977, we lost 32,000 jobs. In 6 years, we lost them. We recovered part of that from 77 to 1999. We gained 47,000 jobs in how many years? 22 years. Remember, it's not only the loss of jobs, it's the loss of construction skills. So you need somebody who can lay the brick, as well as somebody who needs to oversee woodwork, many things in the construction industry. In 1999, from 1999 to 2007, again, we went back to 98,000 jobs. This was an increase of 34,000 jobs in 8 years. Notice the long term, the span of years before we regained construction jobs. And now, 2007 through 2020, we have lost 52,000 jobs. So we are back to 46,000 jobs. This is important. And on top of that, we have these negative and perverse incentives because of the unemployment benefits and all these federal fiscal stimulus that we've been receiving, be it because of COVID or the hurricane, because of the reconstruction, the disaster relief funds. But what is important is, take for instance President Biden's new stimulus. He's putting forward that there should be now $400 in unemployment benefits on a weekly basis, on top of whatever the state offers in unemployment benefits. So in Puerto Rico, it would imply that on average it's about $174 on a weekly basis, plus $400 now, it would imply $574 a week. Multiply that by 4 weeks, and during the month it could be like $2,300. Divide that by the number of hours in this month. Say it's a 40-hour week for a full-time employee, times 4, it's 160 hours. If we divide 2,300 by 160 hours, it implies $14.30. The median salary, or the average salary that construction workers are receiving in Puerto Rico, on average, it's about $10. It's more than the minimum wage of $7.25, but $10, $14.30, it's a real negative and perverse incentive. So Puerto Rico must meet this challenge as to how really you will focus on how to regain construction jobs. Don't forget, those of you who like our capsules, to go to YouTube under the voice of Heidie Calero and give us a like. Until the next capsule.